Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren. How are you, Frank?
I'm good. How are you?
All good. Obviously, off the back of a good show this weekend, Joyce headlining and did what everyone expected him to do, but in sensational fashion. Just a quick recap on Joe's performance and what's next for him after completely dominant display against Christian Hammer.
He did extremely well. He's been out the ring for a year. He obviously coming off of a broken wrist. And he shook all the cobwebs off. What was his performance like? He took a few shots, which I preferred him not to do, but they just bounced off of him. But you've got to look at the good things, what he did, and the good thing was he persevered, he's got a great engine, and more importantly, he throws tremendous shots, great variety of shots, you know, head shots, body shots. I was really pleased with that, and I'm glad he's got it out of the way. He needed to get it out of the way. There's a lot of messing around with his Parker stuff and whatever, so he's put that behind him, and now we move forward. He's the number one, and we've all got our eyes on the 20th to see what happens, and then that'll determine where he goes. In the meantime, he's not going to sit around on his backside, so he'll be out again on the 24th of September.
He has got that style, though, that could prove any heavyweight issues. Yeah,
I mean, he's tough. I mean, you know, he takes a shot. I mean, it's amazing, the punch, you know, that chin. It's just amazing, and I prefer him not to take him, that's for sure. But, you know, he can take a shot, and I think that anybody who's in there with, he's going to give him a problem. I mean, no one wants to really fight him. They don't. They say they do, but when it comes down to it, they don't.
Tommy Fury, well, we got you here. The Esteviza issue, has that been sorted yet?
No, it hasn't. He's, you know, it's still to be sorted out, and we're working on trying to get it done.
Jake Paul, obviously knowing what he's like, he always tweets, etc., etc. He said Wednesday's the last day he's gonna be waiting for Tommy Fury. Do you think that's true? And like, what is the kind of time zone on the fight?
He's got a show to run. He's a promoter as well as a fighter, and he wants to get his show on. And I understand where he's coming from. You know, Jake and his team have been brilliant to work with, but unfortunately we're in this position. It's no one's fault. You know, Tommy went to the airport to travel. He didn't go to the airport to be turned back, and now we're trying to resolve it. But it's, you know, it's not as you can't just walk in an embassy. You've got to be able to, you know, make the appointments and so on. So at the moment we're in the position we're in, and hopefully it will get resolved. If it doesn't, they'll move on, and maybe we can revisit again in the autumn.
How likely is it that the fight doesn't happen now with this position that we're in?
I've got to be honest, I didn't want to put odds on it. It's all down to, it's out of our hands. It's not something that's in our hands. You know, it's ridiculous to me that he got refused to not being able to get on the plane anyway with this Esther stuff. Anyway, but it is what it is, and you can't change it. But deal with the reality, and the reality is we're doing our best to try and get the thing resolved.
Daniel Dubois, obviously there was rumours unpaid, etc., etc. If he still hasn't been paid, how likely is it that there'll be legal action?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that at the moment, but the fact of the matter is, you know, he's done what he had to do, and he should be remunerated for that. But we'll see what happens.
I have to ask you about Tyson as well. Obviously, do you have anything to show? We know he'll be watching closely on August the 20th, as everyone will be.
Yeah, of course he'll be watching it. He watches all the fights. He's a boxing nut. He's got his tour at the moment. It's a sellout tour around the country, and he's enjoying that. So his hands are full in doing what he's doing, which is being out there, being a man of the people, selling places out, interacting with his fans, and then he'll make a decision as to what he wants to do, if indeed he needs to make a decision regarding the winner of the fight on the 20th. That'd be his call.
I got messaged about a Joyce Fury fight. Would you be up for making that? It'd be intriguing to see.
Of course we'd be up for making that, but you know, everything's up to Tyson. At the end of the day, Tyson's the guy, and it's what turns him on and what he wants to do.
So how likely is it? It seems more likely as the days go on that he's going to return.
No, I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, you know, it changes from a daily basis. We'll see what happens, and let's see what happens on the 20th. That's the catalyst to everything that's going to be happening in the heavyweight division. Once that's out of the way, there may be a proper unification fight between Tyson and the winner. There may not. But if there's not, then the governing bodies will order mandatory defences of the respective titles. And Joe's there, and so's Daniel. They're both in really good positions.
For sure. On the 16th, we have a great card in Wembley. Dennis McCann will start with James Beach Jr. It's a good fight for him. Step up again.
It is a step up for him, and he's looking really well. He was at the show on Saturday. He's looking, he's maturing physically. He's getting bigger and bigger. I think it's a good fight for him.
How do you expect that one to go?
Well, I expect Dennis to win. I hope he does. I mean, that's where he's our man, and that's what we're investing in. But he's been brought along correctly, and we're upping him up in the quality of the opposition each time he fights.
And Hamza, the reason we're here today, of course, a big star in the making. Obviously, won an award as well. How far would you like to go with him?
Well, all the way, and I think he has the potential to do that. He's very level-headed. He's got his feet on the floor, on the ground. He's got a good family around him. His dad Cam. He's got Taz. He's got a really good team around him, and he's a smart guy. He's a very, very intelligent boxer. He knows what he wants, and he goes about it in a very, very professional way. And be second fight at middleweight, and I'm expecting him to come out there and look really good doing what he does.
He can grab a really big audience as well. We've seen with obviously Amir Khan, Adam Azim, a young prospect as well. But he's got potential to cross over, as you mentioned upstairs a moment ago.
Well, he has, because he's intelligent, he's bright, and he's absolutely gets it. It's like modern. It's the 21st century Britain. That's what it is, and he's a product of that. And he's just, I think he's quite an amazing young man, and he's quite mature for his age. He gets it, he understands it, and he doesn't get deviated by anything. He knows that all his success is going to be based upon what he does in the ring, and what he does in the ring what he's done in the ring up to now has been brilliant. And I think he's going to go on from strength to strength. I really, really expect him to become a world champion in the future.
And he's an Arsenal fan. That must help the relation.
The most important thing. Other than that, that's the most important thing. Yeah, he's an Arsenal fan, so that really does help. That really does help.
Well, I'm a Tottenham fan, so I told you this at the end of the interview.
I sense something a bit iffy about you, but anyway, it is what it is. No, he's where's that garlic? He's an Arsenal fan, and at least me and him got something to moan about together.
We appreciate your time, Frank. Look forward to the 16th and obviously ongoing shows.
Cheers, man.